Readers of Reddit. r/AskReddit. What's the worst thing to wake up to? I was babysitting my niece one time when she was about 4. I packed her off to bed and went to watch a movie on the couch, where I promptly dozed off. Only to be woken a few hours later in complete darkness, having no idea where I was, and with a tiny, clammy little demon hand grabbing at my ankle. I've never been awake faster in my life, only to be greeted by a very confused child who just wanted a story and who no one had seen fit to tell me could get over the baby gate like a goddamn ninja. We don't tell her mother about the time Aunt Hazel almost kicked her darling daughter through a window. A call from work wondering where I've been all morning. That pit in your stomach when you wake up, look at your phone and see you're hours late for work. From ready to pass back out to instant anxiety-fueled adrenaline in 0.2 seconds. And then you realize it's your day off, but you're already wide awake, and there's no way you're getting back to sleep. A few years ago I was awoken at probably 5 a.m. Sun was just starting to appear, by the most rancid stench I have ever experienced. It was so rank that it woke me out of a sound sleep. I am unwakeable. I will silence alarms in my sleep. I have slept through hurricanes. But this stench slapped me in the face so hard that I was up and ready to fight it at the first grasp of consciousness my body had. At first I thought it was some serious ass dog poop, but my bedroom door was still shut and it would be super weird since my dog doesn't have a history of pooping in the house. So I go on a manhunt for the source of this god-awful aroma and I absolutely cannot figure it out. Nothing on the floor, under the bed, on the bed, in the closet, in any piece of furniture etc. I open the window, partially to let in some fresh air and partially to see if it's coming from outside. Then I walk by my python's enclosure one more time and realize that it is the epicenter of this horrific nightmare fume. I couldn't see much through the barely sunlit room, so I flip the light switch on to see the side of her enclosure covered in a dried, crusty liquid and some bits of unidentifiable chunks. Absolutely disgusted, I have no choice but to get closer and inspect this hazmat crime scene to find out what the duck happened and see if she was still okay. She was fine, but coiled up at the opposite end of her enclosure with her head poking up at me. Pleading. Begging. Please. Please human. Kill me. She had escaped the day before and had been fed the day before that. If you don't know much about caring for snakes, you have to let them rest and digest about 72 hours after eating, otherwise they can and most likely will vomit. Do you know what snake vomit looks like? It's just a whole animal with the head half or partially dissolved in acid depending on how long it was inside the snake. In this case, I looked over and saw a rat's ass from the hip bones down, organs spilled everywhere and goo covering every inch of the enclosure on that side. She had decided to puke the rat's ass directly onto her heat rock, where some of it had been deflected everywhere and the rest had been actively baking while I'd been sleeping. The sight coupled with the scent made me lose it. I vomited all over the floor. I go and grab some cleaning supplies, toss her into a bin and soak a t-shirt in perfume to tie around my mouth and nose while I attack this revolting puke-pocalypse. As I've got my head in her enclosure, straining to hold my breath and trying to squint as much as possible so I don't have to see it as much, I turn to throw another wad of dirty paper towels into the bag I had opened up on the floor behind me to see my dog snacking on them. I vomited again. Overall, it took me an hour to get the enclosure clean. I had to give her a half-hour soak but babysit her while trying not to fall asleep so she didn't try to submerge her head in dawn. I had to brush my dog's teeth and the smell didn't leave my room for a week. Even with my windows open, 3 wallflowers and fan going 24/7. Police. Woke up to the police knocking on our door a few days before Christmas when I was 14, saying my brother had been reported missing. Turned out the drunk ducker just fell asleep on the train and ended up in Dublin, but shit, that was terrifying. Edit, for clarity, we live in Company Cork, Ireland. I woke up to police chasing a guy through our yard. He tripped over the bikes I had leaning against the house right where my bedroom is. That's the only reason the cops got him. There was so much yelling and threats to shoot until finally the guy cooperated. Same thing happened to me, except the dude being followed by the cops was my underage brother who stole my grandma's truck, and freaked when police tried to pull him over for going too slow. He crashed into the house. Thank God I was getting a cup of water at 2 a.m. otherwise I'd be crushed by the caving-in wall. The end of that dream where you really need a pee, and start to feel the satisfaction of warming release. Thanks to a fever, stress, some medication, and too much wine one night I woke up to my family yelling at me, asking what the hell I was doing. As I was standing next to my open dresser drawer, taking a long piss onto my folded pants. Sleepwalking is weird as duck. Oh, I got a story on that one. I once got drunk, started sleepwalking and woke up to my parents yelling at me. I was laying in the middle of the stairs. I fell down about 7 steps without waking up. Left a few bruises, good times. I was helping. The story was going to end with your parents yelling at you because you were peeing on them. Your dog gagging and about to throw up in the middle of night. Then hearing him eating it 15 seconds later. Sounds like the problem solved itself. A tornado alarm, shit is so ducking scary. Especially at 3 a.m., while you are in a tent, and the nearest tornado shelter is a 10-minute walk through the woods in a thunderstorm. Mine is very similar but also the opposite. When I was 18, I would regularly visit my sister who lives about 2 hours away. I would usually stay for the weekend, babysit my infant niece, and they could have a chance to go out. This particular time, I dozed off on the couch. I woke up in a blur around midnight and realized I didn't have the baby monitor. I went upstairs and saw the baby's door was open. I tiptoe in and the crib is empty. I full on panic, ran around yelling, checking all the rooms and doors, all still locked. I find my phone and there's a text from my sister. Dog meds are in the window by the sink. 1/2 pill a.m. I finally remembered, I had come that weekend to take care of their dog while they, baby included, went to Ohio. I've never been so relieved in my entire life. Waking up to 30+ missed calls with a brutal hangover and can't remember what you did last night, but you know it wasn't good. Panic. If it's a blackout drunk night, just waking up having not lost your phone is a win in my book. If you wake up at home, with your phone and wallet still there, that's a total win. Waking up in a nice bath with a missing kidney and blood all over the place. Your clothes, bed sheets, bed stained with period blood. Or the sinking feeling that you just know as soon as you roll out of bed it'll leak everywhere. The run to the bathroom in the mornings is always my least favorite part of periods. Their waddle run. Do not enjoy that in the morning. Bacon cooking on a George Foreman next to your bed. Forgetting you set it there and then stepping on it hurts like crap. Did you wrap it in bubble wrap? I like to wake up to the smell of bacon, okay? Yourself as a student in underwear, in front of the entire 2nd grade. And everyone is laughing at you. Cat peeing on my ankles through the sheets. Morning wood and really needing to pee. Your wife grinding coffee beans 12 inches away from your head. Your wife grinding your head 12 inches away from coffee beans. One day I woke up to find my dog had diarrhea everywhere. Large puddle on the floor and also in between the side of my bed and the wall. It was completely inside the outlet. I literally had to shut off the electricity and rewire a new outlet that day. Oh shit. I had a nightmare where I was covered in ants. I woke up and was relieved that it was just a dream. Then I realized I was actually covered in ants.